Why did you misquote it? See, you're doing the very thing the Quran slanderously and you slanderously accuse Christians. You Muslims twist your own Quran. No wonder Shabir Ali is becoming a munafiq, because he's throwing all these sources on the bus like you do. You're doing the same thing.
I didn't throw the sources. I just got stuck.
All right, at least you're honest. I got stumped.
Explain the Ibn Abbas's commentary on
Oh, yeah.
279.
Well,
you guys distorted your books.
Sure.
Okay?
Even if that's
yeah.
Okay. Even let's go with that. Even if that's a statement from Ibn Abbas, all you're proving is a source that comes 200 years later has Ibn Abbas saying the Bible's corrupt. Okay, but did you just not admit, for everyone here, renowned scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah said the Torah is not corrupt? Did you not just admit that?
Yeah.
Say it again?
Yes, I did admit
So
it.
wait, didn't Ibn Taymiyyah know that statement from Ibn Abbas?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
And he still said there are scholars on the basis of the Quran that say that the Torah is not corrupt?
Yeah, because they used the hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he swore by the Torah.
Oh, so Ibn Abbas is smarter than your prophet. He swore by the Torah, but Ibn Abbas's statement is more authoritative than Muhammad. See what you did again?
I'm just saying that hadith caused a lot of confusion, and maybe we're not understanding what our Prophet did. Like,
so hold on.
Yeah.
The scholars who studied these sources thoroughly and didn't just appeal to that hadith, they also appealed to 6:115, and Bukhari quoted it, right? Bukhari quotes Ibn Abbas, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me show you what Bukhari also said. This is one of the statements that the scholars used to show the Bible is not corrupt. Here it is. Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari. I'm going to read to you what he says. And he's the one who quotes Ibn Abbas, right?
Yeah.
Bukhari's the one who quotes Ibn Abbas saying, why do you ask the people of the book anything when they don't ask you anything? When you have the revelation coming fresh to you, and they, on the other hand, distort their books, writing it with their hands and saying it is from Allah when it's not from Allah. That's what you're referring to. The same Bukhari that quotes it. I just gave you the link. Can you click on it?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We give you the Arabic, and I give you the English translation from Aisha Bewley.
So the words of Allah Almighty, it is indeed a glorious Quran preserved on a tablet by the mount and an inscribed book. Qatada said that Mastur means written, Yastur means they inscribe, and the al-Kitab is the whole of the Quran and its source. He said that Matalfizu means he does not say anything but that it is written against him. Ibn Abbas said both good and evil are recorded. And
Yuharafunna, this is now tampering, changing. The word Yuharafunna in 446. Now notice the explanation.
No one removes the words of one of the books of Allah Almighty, but they twist them, interpreting them improperly.
Wait. Al-Bukhari just quoted Ibn Abbas and works as a typo. It means words. She miswrote. Al-Bukhari just quoted Ibn Abbas saying, no one removes the words of one of the books of Allah Almighty. But how do they twist them? Interpreting them improperly. The same Bukhari that quoted that hadith from Ibn Abbas, which you are misapplying to teach that Ibn Abbas taught the text was corrupted. The same Bukhari? Bukhari just quoted Ibn Abbas saying, no one can change any of the words of Allah's books. They twist them, they remove them by misinterpreting them. Then you're going to quote this hadith instead of trying to understand it, and this statement of Ibn Abbas and Muhammad's attitude, because that's all you have. You don't have much. And if you read Arabic, do you read Arabic?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, if you go back to the main link, I give you the Arabic. You'll read it there in Arabic. Here it is. Just check it out.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah, let me just send you the link again. There you'll find the Arabic text of Bukhari. a fresh translation of the Arabic on top. They corrupt the word means they alter or change its meaning, yet no one is able to change even a single word from any book of God. The meaning is that they interpret the word wrongly. And then you'll see the complete quotation in Arabic. We provide it right there. Show us where we mistranslated when even Aisha Bewley translated it similarly. So Ibn Abbas is not your friend. If you read him in context, he's not saying they wrote a book with their hand and twisted the text, meaning the books of the Bible. He's saying they passed off forgeries that had nothing to do with the books that God sent down, the Torah and the Gospels. Those books remain intact, incorruptible. That's what Ibn Abbas believed if I read him in context. I even wrote an article on that, explaining it. Here it is. And I'm pretty certain you're not shown this. Here. Did Ibn Abbas believe that the Holy Bible is corrupt? Here you go. I responded to these hadiths. There you go. I wrote an article on this years ago. I already know this passage. But unlike the Muslims, I try to interpret your sources in context. It's ironic. You would think a Christian would want to twist your sources. It's you Muslims twisting your sources, choosing the things you like, ignoring the things that contradict you. It's we Christians who remind you, wait, there's more to the story. What about these other verses? What about these other hadiths?
Yeah, because Allah accused you guys of being liars and deceivers.
He did? You sure about that? What did he say about Christians in 582 and 83 and 57:27?
Hold on, let me read it.
What does he say about Christians? Go to 582 and 83.
You guys are liars. You call Jesus the Son of God when he
Okay, well, let's see if the Quran agrees with you. First, let's see if the Quran agrees we're liars or we are people of compassion and mercy, and we are an upright people, unlike the Jews that your Quran hates. Go to 582-83. You start at 81.
If only they had believed in Allah, in the Prophet, and in what have
Chapter
been
5,
revealed to
verse
them.
81 to 83.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Okay, go ahead.
And what had been revealed to him. Never would they have taken them for friends and protectors.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to
But
trust.
most of them are rebellious wrongdoers. Strongest among men in enmity to the believers will thou find the Jews and pagans. And nearest, yeah, I know this verse.
Okay, but wait, what does it say about Christians that you just slandered us?
That you guys are closest to us.
And what are we? Read it. No, you stop. Don't stop. Yeah, you do attack the Jews, but what does your Quran say about Christians?
Because amongst these are men devoted to learning and men who have renounced the world.
But you just called us liars, right?
Yeah, it says amongst these men, not all of them.
Hold on. But it didn't say, you're misreading again. Astaghfirullah Rabbil Alameen. Do I need to correct you? Let's read it again. Okay. Thou will find the most vehement of mankind in hostility to those who believe to be the Jews and the idolaters. And thou will find the nearest of them in affection to those who believe, to those who say, lo, we are Christians. Those who say, you forgot that part. Then it says, because there's among them, some of them are monks and priests. Yes, not all of them. And because they are not proud. Why did you misquote it? See, you're doing the very thing the Quran slanderously and you slanderously accuse Christians. You Muslims twist your own Quran with your words. The very thing you accuse us, you just twisted the verse. It's talking about Christians in general.
That's not for Allah. I just quoted Yusuf Ali. That's not for Allah.
All right. Well, I don't know if Yusuf Ali. I'll blame him too. All right. Now keep reading all the way to 83.
And when they hear what has been revealed, I'm reading Shakir now.
Okay.
And when they hear what has been revealed to the apostle, you will see their eyes overflowing with tears on the account of the truth that they recognize. They say, our Lord, we believe, so write us down with the witnesses of truth.
Now, do you know the historical context of this?
No. What is it?
Now, if you want me to prove to you that the Muslims, like your prophet, were liars and deceivers? If you read the context, this is talking about the Najashi in Abyssinia, when a group of the Muslims went to Abyssinia to seek the protection of the Christian ruler. A group of pagans went after them to bring them back to punish them. The Najashi said, no, anyone who seeks my protection and asylum will be protected. So then they plotted. They said, all right, we're going to go tell Najashi and his bishops they deny Jesus is God. This is your sources, not me. So they went to Najashi and saying they deny Jesus. So then they summoned the Muslims. And again, if memory doesn't fail me, guys, real quickly check. It says Jafar ibn Abu Talib, I believe Ali's brother. Again, I'm going by memory. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He said, I'll just recite to them chapter 19 of the Quran, chapter 19. And according to your sources, he narrated the story of Mary, 16, and how she gave birth to Jesus, and Jesus speaking as an infant. But he stopped where it says that Allah has no son. And then they said to him, we believe Jesus is Abdullah, slave of Allah, the virgin-born son of Mary, the word of Allah, cast down to Mary in a spirit from him. But they didn't tell him, we don't think he's the son of God, and they didn't tell him that we deny he died on the cross for sinners. They deliberately held back those details in order to deceive the Christians into thinking the Muslims held the same view of Jesus so that Najashi wouldn't persecute them. So we're liars? You guys are damn liars. That's why the Christians started crying, because when they heard the verses of chapter 19 of the Quran, 16 all the way 34, praising Jesus, being born of a virgin, honoring Mary, of course they're going to cry. But they left out the rest of the story and the details. Why? Why did they do that?
I can't say it.
And you're saying we're the liars. Go now, 57:27. Sorry.
Then we made our apostles follow in their footsteps, and we sent Isa, son of Maryam, afterwards, and we gave him the Injil, and we put it in the hearts of those who followed him, kindness and mercy. And as for mockery, they innovated it. We did not prescribe it to them, only to seek Allah's pleasure. But they did not observe it with its due observance. So we gave to those of them who believe their reward, and most of them are transgressors.
Okay, so here where they transgress, they invented monasticism, but they failed to live up to it. And because of that, they're transgressors. But notice it says, we put in the hearts of Jesus's followers, what? Kindness and what?
Mercy.
Okay. Now, some of them went overboard with monasticism, but notice why. It says, because they wanted to earn Allah's pleasure through being monks, but they failed to live up to it. And because they did, they transgressed. They failed to honor the monastic life. But you put that aside, the followers of Jesus are known to be learned men, known to have kindness and mercy in their hearts. And yet you're saying we're liars. Now go to 15:90-91, because I'm going to show you your Quran says your Quran is corrupt.
Like as we sent down on the dividers, those who made the Quran into shreds.
They did what to your Quran?
They shred the Quran. That doesn't mean it's corrupted.
Of course it doesn't mean that, because see, if that said it about the Bible, you would be throwing in my face. See, those who shredded the Torah, those who shredded the gospel, aha, you see, the Quran says your Bible's corrupt. But it can't mean that, because it says that about the Quran.
Listen, if you shred one Quran, it doesn't mean you shred all.
Who told you it's shredding? What Quran? You're saying the unbelievers had copies of the Quran? It wasn't even collected in a book yet.
Yeah,
so how did they shred it?
Whatever early copies they shred, that doesn't mean all the copies are shredded.
Oh, okay. Notice your logic. Just because some copies were shredded doesn't mean the rest. But you don't apply that logic to the Bible, where it has hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. You see? Well, let me not exaggerate. Around close to 30,000 manuscripts. Let me be careful. I don't want to, that was hyperbole. I was exaggerating. So we have nearly 30,000 copies of the Bible. When the Quran says people were shredding the Quran, even though it doesn't make any sense because the Quran wasn't compiled in a book, but let's argue it was. There were copies of the Quran people shredded. That doesn't mean the Quran was completely corrupt, even though it says they shredded. But when you can't find anything similar that the Quran says about the Bible, you take certain verses out of context. See, the whole Bible everywhere is corrupt. Why didn't you apply that same logic to the Bible? Just because some copies are corrupted, the other thousands of copies could not be corrupted the same way. We have nearly 30,000 copies of the different books of the Bible, buddy. How many do you have?
Yeah, but because we know the Bible is corrupted, that's why we have to interpret.
Did Ibn Taymiyyah know that? Did Al-Bukhari know that? Did Ibn Jawziyah know that? Did they know that?
Yeah,
Did Al-Razi know that?
They can get things wrong.
Did Jesus know that when he confirmed the Torah in his hand?
I don't know.
So you know more than Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, and the ulama. No, you know more than Bukhari. Bukhari, who you believe was the greatest collector of sound hadith, whose collection, Sahih Bukhari, is second to the Quran in terms of authority. He knows much less than your apologists and scholars today. Yeah, you're right. The guy didn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I agree. No wonder Shabir Ali is becoming a munafiq, because he's throwing all these sources on the bus like you do. You're doing the same thing.
I didn't throw the sources. I just got stuck.
All right. At least you're honest. I got stumped.